Welcome to San Diego Comic-Con 2022. And is this the first year for GIJoe represented here?
Yes,
in a long
for
time.
Classified series, it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I've been coming for quite some time now, and it's always been missing for some reason.
Yeah.
I collect Star Wars, Transformers, GIJoe, and of course Marvel.
Yeah.
But now we're finally represented in one of the big four.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We were rested for a little bit, but now we're back. We came back in 2020 with the GIJoe Classified line, and we've been expanding since.
Yep.
That's awesome because, as I mentioned, I was at HasCon and it was resigned to a hallway out front. Was like, that's a slap in the face to GIJoe, even though they got their own GIJoe Con. But, this finally, there's an excitement again for GIJoe the past couple years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that some people have called this like the third kind of golden age of GIJoe.
Which is very flattering.
It's incredibly flattering. So 60s, 80s, and 2020s.
Yeah.
Are you surprised at all that they were such diehards of the 3 3/4 inch version of GIJoe, and then you offered them a 6-inch classified series?
You go.
So I think that one of the ways that we look at classified series is, when you're little and things seem like they're so much cooler than they actually are because you're using your imagination, you're pretending. Classified series is what your imagination thought your 3 3/4 inch figures looked like when you were little.
100%.
And so to us, this is like the fun interpretation of that scale, but for grown-ups.
Yeah, so like when we started designing them, when I was a kid, I'll get my GIJoes, my 3 3/4 inch, and even my 4-inch. Looking at the details, I would just fall in love. I would sit there and marvel at them, and then go play. So when we got the opportunity to do 6-inch, at that scale, we can hide wall thicknesses of plastic. We can make everything, like all the knives removable, all the mags reloadable. So it takes the world of 3 3/4 inch and pushes it to another level from a detail standpoint. And as a designer, it's like a dream come true. We can literally make real little figs or little soldiers. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm amazed at the new direction it's going. But I am a diehard vintage collector.
Yeah.
Of course, I grew up with playing the
And
3.
they're awesome.
Of course. What was the decision behind the last retro line to go to an O-ring version?
So we really wanted to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Real American Hero era, and what better way to do that than to go back to the toys that started in the 80s with our O-ring figures. But now that we have a little bit more of our modern technology, we'll be able to, improve those O-rings, so they're silicone food grade. They're going to last for a really long time, so you won't have to take them apart.
The O-ring will not snap.
Yeah.
Well, let me pull back. I have pulled the O-ring this far, and it hasn't snapped.
Wow.
I'm sure if you Conan'd it,
Yeah,
it would probably
eventually it's
break.
going to have its breaking point.
Exactly.
It goes very far. So,
It wasn't a decision making that the former retro line wasn't fitting the vehicles well, or?
No, I think that we're doing all new tooling for all of our O-ring figures, and so we really are kind of starting from scratch on these, using the old figures as kind of inspiration bases for them.
Yeah,
which has been really fun. So it's like the 80s, but with a little bit less O-ring snappage.
yeah.
So I backed 2 HISS tanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I know a lot of people did as well, because the thing went off in record numbers. Are you surprised by this?
Yep.
It was kind of crazy.
Yeah. It was, we knew it was going to do well, but we didn't know it was going to do this well because nothing had ever done this well before. And so for us to be able to say, we did this, this is our team's hard work.
Yes.
Yeah,
This is your baby.
I got to say, a lot of resources go into a HasLab. They're very big projects, and they take a very long time. So a lot of times we go in it, and we're like, are we going to do good? Are we going to do good? And to see it do that well within 8.5 hours, it was like that sigh of relief and that excitement. And we're like, what else can we do? Right? So we got us even more excited about the future projects. So thanks again to everybody who supported it and everybody who is spiritually supporting it as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Speaking of future projects, now they need a GIJoe Jeep of some kind.
Well,
No.
we're not allowed to comment on future projects, but anything that has existed in the GIJoe line is fair game for being turned into classified series.
I want to see everything done in more realization.
Right.
That's all I can say.
Yeah, well, the line has seen maybe a glut of the Cobra officers. Will there be any kind of GIJoe plain-clothed sailors, troopers?
You know what? Gosh, we can't comment on any upcoming figures, but we also like lots of figures and things. So we'll have to see what the future holds.
How about like opposing hands, fist, accessories?
You know what? We'll have to see where the future holds on that.
Okay. All right.
I will say, it's a balancing act from a resource standpoint. So I have to see what makes sense that we can, I'll say the word afford, in the pack. So GI Joes come with a lot of gear.
Right.
So when we look at what we can put in the box with them, it's kind of like I got to make hard decisions sometimes. So hopefully that answers the question.
Could it elude or make possible the accessory packs for weapons and things like that?
Gosh, you know what? We can't comment on upcoming items that may be doing. But
a lot of good ideas floating out around there, I guess.
There's a lot of great ideas that are floating around, but unfortunately, we still can't.
Well, I'll say, a lot of us grew up with Joe, and we all have these like what we want to do with it.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're all very good ideas.
Yes, they are very good ideas.
Because
yes.
you guys revealed a trouble bubble at today's panel.
One trouble bubble comes with Telly Viper. Very excited.
I'm very pumped.
Trouble
about
bubbles could lead to gliders and jetpacks.
In theory, they sure could, but gosh, we're just not going to be able to comment on anything.
I
want
to make a world of GI Joe.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
that's our goal.
I'm glad we got two people that are enthusiastic about the line, creating these things. Are you guys collectors yourselves? Do you collect any of the merchandise?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard not to when
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
surrounded by it all day.
Yeah.
I have a pretty sizable Legends collection at home in addition to all of my GI Joes, and I really like creepy dolls, which is not necessarily a Hasbro thing, but people tend to give me creepy dolls when they find them now, and I'm really into it. Yeah.
I'm super into Plunderlings. I love Mythic Legions as my jam. You guys are killing it with that line.
Yeah.
And I also really like Papo and Shillick, like dinosaurs. I'm a huge dinosaur guy. There's another line I collect. It's called Acid Rain. They're incredible figures. If you've never seen them before, take a look at them. 3 3/4 inch. It is an awesome world of play. So
I thank you so much for your time. I'm glad you guys are finally represented here at San Diego. I look forward to much great things in the future from you guys.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.